If you go back to 1991, 50 people all across America had a net worth of over $1 billion. Fast forward to today, 900 people or more have a net worth of over $1 billion. It seems like something has happened over the last 30 years that so many people suddenly became multi-billionaires. Now, at first, it might seem like a few people simply have all the concentration of wealth. But this is not just unique to billionaires. If you look at the number of millionaires, back in 1991, 3.6 million people had a net worth of over $1 million. Fast forward to today, 24 million people have a net worth of over $1 million. So it seems like becoming a millionaire is not as difficult as most people imagine. As long as you do the right things, as long as you invest in the right investments, you're almost guaranteed to make millions of dollars. If you literally look at the background of all of these people, you will realize that almost all of them have actually made their money in one single industry. There are two driving forces behind that wealth. First of all, it was value creation. If you look at the output of the United States of America since 1945, you will realize that at different periods, there were different reasons that made people so insanely rich. After 1945, this was the economic boom that allowed any person in America to become so insanely rich. If you look at the GDP growth, the average growth was about 5 to 6%. We never see these kind of numbers today. Why? Because after 1945, the rest of the world was destroyed and the United States of America was at the top of the world. So doing any business after 1945 guaranteed you to become a multi-millionaire, maybe even a multi-billionaire. You see on the other side of the world, the entire Europe is destroyed. Take anything from the US and sell it to the European countries and congratulations, you just made millions of dollars. And that actually continued for the next 20 to 30 years. But remember, the rest of the world isn't actually stuck. They're also working hard, they're rebuilding their infrastructure, they're rebuilding their entire industries. So by 1980s, it was not that easy to make that much money. Even the Japanese companies and the German companies overtook the United States in certain industries such as the automotive industry. But in 1980, a lot of people started making money with tech. But the real reason why we have so many rich people today is because of the internet. If you pull out the Forbes billionaires list, you will see that almost every single person that made so much money was because of the internet, was because they either invested in internet companies or founded one of these internet companies or a tech company. Yes, at first you might say that, well, I'm not going to start an internet company. I did not have the ability to develop one of these businesses. But there's so many people that became multi-millionaires by simply investing in these internet companies. Even if you look at Warren Buffett and you look at the Berkshire Hathaway, not a single company made Warren Buffett more money than Apple. And Warren Buffett did not invent any technology or internet companies. The second driving force behind so many millionaires is the devaluation of the dollar. The dollar historically, because there is so much money that is circulating in the economy, the dollar continuously loses its value. So all these rich people who are basically investing in all of these assets by their nature are going to become more valuable just because the dollar is losing its value. Look, if you go back to 1971 when Nixon abandoned the gold standard, you instantly see the devaluation of the dollar. The dollar instantly loses about half of its value overnight. What happens to all these assets? If you had a house, the value of that house skyrockets. If you own a business, the value of that business skyrockets. And we know that the policy that the government has taken is a continuous devaluation of the currency. Even if you look at the charter of the Federal Reserve, and even if you listen to the chairman of the Federal Reserve, he will tell you straightforward that we are purposely trying to devalue the dollar by at least 2% annually so that will encourage the average person to spend his money. Because if we don't have that kind of inflation in the country, suddenly people will start saving their money. And if you save your money, we're not going to have a GDP growth, because a GDP only grows when more money is circulating in the economy. But when your money is sitting there in a bank account or in some kind of a safe deposit, You're not spending that money. We don't want to see that. We want you to take all the money that you're making and we want you to spend it. So the entire society is being divided into two categories. One group, which is the largest society or the largest group in the society, are basically spending that money on consuming stuff. But on the other side, you have this small group of people, which are 10 to 15% of the entire population. They're like, we're going to spend some of that money not on direct consumption, but rather on buying these assets that appreciate alongside every single time when the dollar loses its value. And you can see the trend is very clear. In 10 years from now, the dollar will lose a lot more of its value. So everybody who's sitting on a lot of assets, they're going to become a lot more wealthier. Let me give you a simple example. If you go back to 1990s, let's ask the question, how much a $10,000 investment is going to worth today? In Nvidia, which is today the world's most valuable company, would worth today $58 million. Imagine for a moment if you were smart enough to invest $10,000 in Nvidia back in 1999. Literally, you would have more money today than probably 99% of the humanity. You won't just become a simple millionaire, but $58 million is actually a lot of money. A $10,000 investment in 1986 in Microsoft would be today about $14 million. In Netflix, $6 million. In Amazon, $2.2 million. In Apple, $1.6 million. So you can see that basically everybody or most people who are millionaires today, back in 1990s and early 2000s, they made a very simple decision that I'm going to become an investor. I will be taking a certain amount of my income, whether it's 10%, 15%, or 20%, and I will be consistently investing in these companies. Some of these companies are going to go down, others will fail, but if I'm going to dollar cost average in largest companies and the companies that seem to dominate the tech sector, I'm going to become a multi-millionaire. And they were right. They made so much money. The most important thing that you have to keep in mind is that all of these companies that you see that today worth trillions of dollars, all of them has crashed more times than you count. If you look at their stock prices and you zoom out and you see this really nice chart that they went from almost zero to trillions of dollars. But if you kind of zoom in and you see that there has been so many ups and downs. Back in 2001, the dot-com bubble burst, and all these companies that you see in front of you, they lost the vast majority of their valuation. So Amazon went public in 1997, and by the year 2001, the stock price was about $105 or $107 per stock. Literally overnight, the moment the bubble burst, the stock went from $107 to as low as $7. Amazon was on the brink of bankruptcy. So the people who did not understand, who could not actually see slightly more into the future, what did they do? They instantly sold their stocks. And they didn't instantly just went down or went up to trillions of dollars. Go to 2008 financial crisis. Look at any tech company today and you will see that it has suffered, whether the stock went down by 20% or 30%. And these are just outline examples that I'm giving you. If you look at the more details, you will realize that they have crashed consistently so many times. The smart people bought more of these stocks every single time it crashed. Everyone who dollar cost average in the big tech companies is now a multi-millionaire. Even if some of your investments are going to turn to be bad, the winners will offset the losses. Even if you end up investing in a few right companies, you are still going to make millions of dollars, even if you lose dozens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in some of these bad investments. Of course, it's very difficult to make these investments because most people simply don't understand what they're doing. You look at the screen and you see Amazon and you see a ticker symbol and you see the price. How do I know that this ticker symbol and this price is actually worth something? That's why it's so important to educate yourself financially. That's why it's so important for you to understand the financial markets. Literally, if you're in the middle class, the best skill that you can ever master in your entire life is investing, because you're going to be in that fixed paycheck for the rest of your life. If you're not going to become an entrepreneur and start a business that will earn you millions of dollars, then the best chance that you have to make millions of dollars is by investing in the right assets. So here's the most important question. What is the next cycle? The next cycle is obviously AI. From what we see already, it is clear that AI is going to dominate the world. The companies that will build the AI, the companies that will monetize AI the best are going to be making trillions of dollars. Let me just give you a very simple example. If you take Google, Google is a huge company and they sell primarily ads. We use the internet for free. We use Google for free, but it costs Google billions of dollars to run this search engine. But they're selling ads to businesses. Now, AI is going to help Google to monetize ads much better. It is going to help Google to make the ads much more effective, much more efficient. So Google is going to earn a lot of money. Now, the same analogy you can actually apply to Meta. The same analogy you can apply to many other companies. And this is just one example of how you can actually monetize and massively profit from AI. So a $10,000 investment today into AI is going to turn into millions of dollars in 10 or 20 years from now, just like 25 or 30 years ago, a $10,000 investment will have turned today into tens of millions of dollars. So the only question is right now to you. Are you investing in AI or not? Are you investing in these companies or not? Of course, it's not going to make you a multi-million overnight, but the trend is very clear. We still don't know the extent of how much AI will change our lives. If we go back 25 years ago in early 2000s or even 1990s, it was very difficult for the average person to imagine that 25 years from now, every single person is going to have this small little gadget in his pocket, which we call a smartphone, that will give you access literally to everything. It was impossible to imagine that. The exact same thing is going to happen with AI. Now, it is extremely difficult for us to imagine exactly how that will change. And we know that it is going to make us much more productive and much more efficient. But isn't AI a bubble? You made a few videos last year telling that do not invest in AI. And you told the VIP group that you are selling all of your AI stocks. Well, yes, the AI was a bubble last year. It was very clear because they've been signing left and right all of these multi-trillion-dollar deals, only to realize that these deals are not going to happen. But look, most of the companies that were actually hyped last year, they already lost like 20, 30, 50% of their valuation. Microsoft, since 2023, actually had a really great time. The stock actually doubled in that period of time. But then, since the second half of 2026, the stock is down by more than 30%. And Microsoft is the main company that is backing OpenAI. Let's take another example, Oracle, which is one of the largest companies that is investing in AI. The stock has actually collapsed from its peak by 57%. Let's take another AI company that is dominating the headlines. It is called Palantir. The stock of the Palantir from its peak has crashed by 36%. This is what we call a massive crash. Now, some people imagine that a stock market crash is going to be a 99.9% crash. Something like that is not going to happen for a few reasons. And a crash like the dot-com bubble crash is also not going to happen to AI. If you go back to 1990s and pay attention, who exactly was investing in these tech companies in the beginning? These were mostly people with money, mostly Wall Street, mostly people from finance. These people did not understand much about technology. They invested in tech companies and internet companies in hopes to make some money, but they could not actually see the big picture. That's why the moment they saw that it's a bubble, they instantly exited their positions, which is why the dot-com bubble was such a huge crash that some of these companies actually lost like 70, 80% of their valuations. Now compare that to today. Who is investing in AI? These are the tech companies that understand AI. They don't want to be left behind. They understand the potential of AI. So because all the tech industry right now is concentrating trillions of dollars into AI, it is impossible for AI to crash as much as the internet companies crashed back in 2001, especially when there is such a huge race between the United States of America and China. Whoever will dominate AI first is going to have massive influence over the world. That's why this was probably the AI crash that everybody was actually waiting. Now, here's another most important question. How do I know which AI companies is going to win? If you go back to early 2000s, it was very unclear which of these companies are going to be the winner of the internet. The tech giant of 1990s and early 2000s was Yahoo, but Yahoo lost the competition and Yahoo today actually worth absolutely nothing. Or take an example of pets.com. It was one of the hottest companies back in 1990s, but the company instantly went bankrupt. And to be honest, frankly speaking, nobody for a fact knows which AI company is going to dominate the world, which AI company is going to be the next Google of AI, or the next Apple of AI, or the next whatever of AI. So here is probably the most reasonable AI investing strategy. First of all, you can basically dollar cost average in the biggest and the obvious winners. We know for a fact that Google is certainly going to be one of the winners of AI. How do we know that? First of all, they're developing their own AI. Secondly, they have this advertising business that is going to be monetized much more efficiently using their own AI, and they have an entire infrastructure to massively monetize and profit from AI. So these are probably the most obvious winners of AI. But because these companies are already so huge, they're not going to grow by 1,000% or 10,000% like a small startup that will utilize AI is going to do. So dollar cost averaging in these companies will most likely make you a lot of money, but obviously a $10,000 investment is not going to turn into tens of millions of dollars. It can easily turn into a few $100,000, maybe even millions of dollars, but not tens of millions of dollars. The second strategy is to dollar cost average into new companies who are monetizing AI much better. AI still has a lot of potential, and there are going to be a lot of new companies that will get into the industry that will challenge the monopolies that we have today. They will come up with better ideas. They will find out better ways to actually monetize that AI. But it's very easy to invest in the wrong company, especially when you don't understand the financial statements, especially when you don't know how to analyze these companies, especially when you don't know how to find valuations. So if you want a step-by-step strategy on how you can actually analyze companies very quickly and find out whether this is going to be a winner or a loser, then join the Investing Academy, where you will learn everything you need to know about investing. And you will also find out which investments am I buying as well. The link is in the description of this video.